State fans, you will see a good, experienced quarterback when you go to Hattiesburg on the 30th. Kid that played all last year for Marshall, Braylon Braxton. This video and pretty much everything I do is made possible by the good folks at Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. Hometown heroes, local agents in all 82 counties around the state of Mississippi. Bulldogs, Golden Eagles, Rebels, all in between. You find it all at Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. Braylon Braxton, he's listed at 6'1", 220. He was 8-0 last year as a starter at Marshall. I'm impressed with him watching the tape. So here's what this video is. It's an introduction. I'll give you some thoughts, and then here on the back end of the video, and I'll give you a time code here, you can go ahead and jump if you want to watch where I break down some plays, kind of film study like that he had last year at Marshall. He was the MVP of the Sun Belt Championship game. He was the newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt. This year at Southern Miss preseason, the Sun Belt media said he's the projected player of the year, or the preseason player of the year in the Sun Belt. He's a redshirt senior, 6'1", 220, big guy. He can throw it, he can run it. And so what this video is if you haven't done your own research and don't know a little bit about Braylon Braxton, who is projected to be the starting quarterback for Southern Miss, then this will help you know a little bit about him. Southern Miss is his third school. He started his college career at Tulsa and then went to Marshall. Of course, like we know, had a big year last year, won a conference championship, 8-0 as a starter, MVP of the title game in his conference, and now he's on to Southern Miss, so he's on to his third school. He is a plus runner. Now, in terms of overall speed, I don't know, but plenty fast enough. He is a big guy. They list him 6'1" and 220. So at times we'll see in some of these plays he is hard to tackle. What I notice about him throwing the football is just accuracy. He's really accurate with the ball. I think the numbers last year for him as a starter were he was 8-0. He was 1,600 yards, 60%, 19 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. So good decisions, accurate with the ball. His throwing motion is, you wouldn't call it quirky. It's actually a really tight, no wasted motion, throwing motion mechanically. It comes off the top of his shoulder and out of his ear a little bit. It's a little bit shot putish like a Danny Werfel, but it's when you slow it down and look at it, it's just really efficient. Same throwing motion, whether he's throwing a little short screen or he's throwing a deep ball. And he's really accurate with the ball. Makes good decisions. Lots of RPO and zone read stuff for him. Lots of throwing off those looks last year, and what we can see anyway on YouTube from Marshall. I think from a running standpoint, not afraid to run, and just seems like a really efficient, good, winning football player. And so you know that Coach Huff and everybody in Hattiesburg is happy to have him there this year coming into it. And he's an older guy. Those are some overall thoughts. Braylon Braxton, really good player who's Southern Miss's quarterback, projected to be, I guess, starter week 1, certainly. And now let's flip over, watch some of those same plays, those examples we just saw, and I'll draw them up for you and hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I really like this throw. This is versus man free, pushing up, get a dig in there at about 15, and they're rushing 5, 6-man protect, but you got people all around you. Step into it and throw a dart. Like on a dead rope, and turn to flip at the end of it. But on a line, you hit him running in stride. So he doesn't even have to reach to catch the football. It's like sticking it in his face mask. It's really, really good stuff. 5 on the line of scrimmage. Pre-snap gave you a man-to-man look, went motion, and you can kind of see it with one safety in the middle of the field. So what turns into 2-by-2 looks like man-to-man for everybody with a free safety in the middle of the field. And sure enough, this linebacker, his responsibility in man is the running back right here. So you read that, right? And you expect the back is checking in protection, which means 5 linemen and 1 back. I got 6. They're only rushing 5. That was the 5 that lined up on line of scrimmage right there. Even if, he had come, the back is still accounting for that. So 6-man protect, he ain't really worried about it that much, right? So he just decides to read that side of the field. And for what reason, I don't know. It could be a game plan matchup thing. It could be the alignment of the safety in the middle of the field. The fact that he's shaded a little more to their wide side, ball on the left hash, so the wide side's here. If the safety's shaded here, and they've got, vertical routes pretty much over here. On this backside, he's going to get dig and stop underneath and kind of read it that way. So it could just be simply, you read that side, position of safety, and then on the snap, that dig is going to get that in break if he doesn't slip down. So that's what happens. Step in there and deliver it. And like I say, it's a perfect throw. I'm impressed with it. And again, you see it from the field level angle. Center is checking and trying to get back over and helps him, and really does. But you're stepping right into somebody and throwing kind of with that low 3/4 release right here. Again, any rusher playing a quarterback with this release, if you're not there, you have to be getting those hands up. You have to be getting hands up a chance to bat it down. But again, this is a nice job of the quarterback. Look at him. He's throwing it almost to a spot. And I mean, it's dead stride. Good throw. They're going to zone away. He's going to mash and read and keep out the backside. And I think what they're doing is reading unblocked in man on the line of scrimmage. Just take a look, watch the play, reads it, pulls it. Not sure it's the right read, and then hurdle. I mean, it's a heck of an athletic play here. To go back to the read, again, I'm not certain, but it looks like the wrong read to me. Again, you're blocking everybody down and leaving him unblocked, okay? So you're here, up to backside, because if you're reading him, if he stays, ball is going to be given to the running back going back the other way. And, whether it's for some other purpose or to have a lead blocker in case you do keep your motion in across here. So when you watch the play happen, you see what happens? This end, right when he sees this and reads this, he's watched film, knows what's happening. He knows it's zoned away, and you see it a million times, right? And look what he does. I mean, it's real 1, 2, 3 hard steps inside to make the quarterback keep the football. And whether it's intentional or not, that's what happens. Again, look, so off the ball, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then as soon as he sees keep, throws on the brakes. And so, again, it's a really nice play. If you're the unblocked, they're reading you, you've given him one read and now jumped all over it, and it's just one-on-one the open field. So, quarterback makes him miss. Look at that. Here's a 220-pound guy, outside jab step, back to the inside, totally makes him miss. I mean, that's a really athletic play from a big quarterback. And then it's to the next level, and what are you going to do? 2 defenders closing down on you, go get the first down, and I think it's like a flying crane kick to the head there for the safety. See it from behind, look at that. Boom, right in the head. I mean, it's getting on up there. Heck of a play. Okay, here's an example of ball handling, getting it out quick on the extended handoff throws and being accurate. They're gonna, it's a screen to the what you have is really a 4 receiver side with 3 blockers out in front. Probably a game plan thing. It's certainly run action built in because we got run blocking happening up in front of it. So it may be a read RPO type of play with a screen built in. I don't know, but it goes to the screen. So read it, pull it, throw it, and turns into a big play because you get blocking out front. And one thing I do notice in watching him last year at Marshall, he has a little bit of that shortened release. Really, it is quick. It's almost a little Danny Werfel-like, where it just is kind of shot put off the top of his shoulder. See that? And whether it's deep ball, but it's just a really quick, tight release, and it's accurate. Now, you could argue that here, I don't want to turn him around. I'd rather hit him on the outside shoulder where he can catch it and get here without having to reverse catch and then go upfield. But still, he gets it out quick and catchable, and that's what makes the play happen. Does a pretty good job with those throws. This is the Sun Belt title game against ULL, and they go 3 receiver side to the field. Ball's not really in the middle. I mean, wide side of the field, technically to the right. So tight end, 2 receivers, trips, single receiver to their left, which is effectively into the boundary. And so on that 3 receiver side, you look at the defense, it's 3, 3, So 6 in the box, and it's a nickel package. So these are safeties that are walked up, giving you a coverage look. And what it is, there's a safety back here off the screen, kind of on the hash, and then pre-snap, he's rotating back. They're playing a cover 2 zone just on the snap, rotating the safety back there. And so they're going to run deep routes and attack this one safety on that hash. So one goes and stays out, one's going to cross his face, and they're going to make the safety back here make a decision, and he can't cover it. So that's effectively the play. You see the rotation of the safety, plenty of time in the pocket, and then look at the throw. Just puts it on him. Now he's wide open. It's going to be hard to miss him. But here's what I was talking about earlier on the release. If you look at him, it's not quite as shot put off the shoulder like a Danny Werfel was back in the day, Heisman winner Danny Werfel. But it is kind of similar, like it's right off the top of his shoulder, really quick release, and the ball does not get off of his ear. Look at that. Like in the entire throwing motion, throwing a 40-yard post, the ball never gets off his ear, and it comes straight up and out. So really quick release, and he's accurate with it. It's a good, strong arm. They show you the route, too. You can see kind of what he's reading with that safety up there on top. They're trying to rotate. They show you the route here. You can see what he's reading. They attack the safety up top, make him make a decision. Of course, again, cover 2, he's not attacked underneath, so he floats back. But to stay here, it kind of holds him just long enough to get across his face. And because the other safety was up and trying to rotate back on the snap, he's not back there. And so they get the deep ball they want. Again, a game plan thing, and he's just wide open. This is that Georgia State game. Motion across, and they're going to bunch it over here, and the outside man's going to come behind everybody and run that slant on the inside and be open. His defender kind of gets picked. It's designed that way. When you see man-to-man, just keep running. And so you get a first down completion, run through the safety, get some more yards, and big play. And it's interesting, a couple of things about it. They rotate, motion to a 3-receiver side and kind of bunch it right here. You see the defender running with him, so you've got a man call, and it is man-to-man, pretty clear. And what this defense is doing is it's 3rd and 5 on the 20, knocking on the door of the red zone, and they are man-to-man everywhere, okay? Linebacker has the back man-to-man, you can see that, with 2 safeties back here on top of it. So a 3rd and 5 where they go man underneath, so 5 defenders are locked up in man-to-man coverage responsibilities, but 2 safeties on top of it in 3rd and 5, which means, they're only rushing 4. But really, they're only rushing 3. They've got 2 down, 2 stand up. But those 3 are rushing. But this defender on this side, what looks like to me, he's not rushing. He is spying the quarterback. So again, his man-to-man responsibility is quarterback, spying a quarterback on 3rd and 5. And that's how they're playing it right here. See the route. There's the vertical releases on, inside, and so he's picking his defender off of it. And safeties stay on top right here because you're pushing up vertical. It's good play design, plenty of time in the pocket, 3rd down play. Okay, this one shows you the athletic ability. Read play, he decides to keep. There's a defender there at the line of scrimmage, but stiff arms him, gets to the outside, outruns him, and you got a big play. Again, tall guy, 6'1", 6'2" is what he's listed. 220 is what he's listed. And this is pretty good. I'm not sure exactly what he's reading. I mean, they don't block the backside defensive end. And the zone run play to the motion man's going back that way. And it looked to me like he peeked at him for a second, but I can't really tell. So, again, I couldn't tell if they're intentionally unblocking there or if that's a missed block by one of these 2 guys. And maybe he's reading, that first inside play side linebacker. Either way, they both either stay or go left, so he pulls the football, which I guess is the right read. And then you get leaked through on the backside. You've got a lineman who stepped up on 25, and now he's going next level kind of early. Back to the start of the play, left guard and tackle are pulling like that GT look. Here they go from left to right, pulling across. And they both go to the outside and combo the outside. So, that's why there's what looks like an unblocked defender that after he pulls is going to meet him right here in the hole. And so then this is just make a play. 1-on-1 in the hole, what are you going to do? Here he puts a stiff arm on and makes him miss. That's 2 times in the few plays we've watched here. We've seen him that as a big guy, he is athletic, he can run. And 1-on-1, he's making these guys miss. See it right there? That's what it looks like. And a lot of guys like me, we're dead to rights right here, but little move, stiff arm him, bounce to the outside, here we go. And this is a really good play. Okay, here's one where we can get a pretty decent look at arm action and mechanics and how he throws the football, throwing a wheel route up the left sideline, steps into it right there, and that's a really, really nice throw. Kind of back shoulder-ish, but the biggest thing is the ball's outside away from the defender and let the guy adjust to it. I guess it could be better, right? If it's perfect, if it's there a little bit earlier and it hits him running up this sideline where he can run to it and catch it, you may break a tackle and score, who knows? Maybe not. But still, it's a nice throw because, you have a defender between you and him. You got to get it over his head, and you don't want to hit the guy in the back of the helmet with it, so it takes some touch and throw it to that outside shoulder where only he can get it. As far as the motion, again, look, really, really tight. I mean, it's really good. It's a little bit of a low release right there, but the ball, never comes off of his ear. He does not elevate it over his head on the throw. So a lot of times it comes out as a 3/4 release right there, and it looks like he's short arming it. I'm not sure he really is. He's just got a strong arm and tight, quick release and accurate. This is a physical run. It looks like run back this way, but it's not. He's pulling it, and he's got lead blocker in front to the edge, follows it, and then goes into the safety with some real intent. Pull it, blocked really well, and then boom, run over a safety. I paused it there. I'll give you the full speed. Just runs right in there, shoulder down, runs through the tackle, 4 more extra yards. I really like it. I looked at this at first. I was trying to figure out, are they reading it? I'm not sure they are. It looks like he puts his eyes on a defensive end, but the end's really just staying there. I think maybe, most likely it's a pre-snap read. 4 down, everything's shifted to the field, right? And intentionally by the design, you got 3 receiver side to get the defense shifted that way, and then your lead blocker's coming back in. So this is probably a call where pre-snap, I see it, I'm going to go ahead and pull this. I'm not really reading it, and here we go, follow it. That H-back, up back, tight end, whatever he is, he actually gets in the way of 2 defenders here because you have 1 linebacker. I'm sure his responsibility is maybe up and outside contained, but he kind of runs himself out of the play. See there? And just opens it wide up. So big guy on a safety runs through it. He's physical. Okay, and this is an interception where he doesn't see the defender, and I think if I read it right, I guess it's one of 2 interceptions that he threw all year. Slant coming inside, and after a play action, he just doesn't see him. So fake, his eyes are up, he just throws it right to him. It's like he never saw him or sort of made his mind up ahead of time. I'm not sure. A lot of people in the box versus this look is a 2nd and 5 play. And, defensively, you're offensively single receiver and then trips to one side, but you're really stacked in here, man-to-man with what is basically 7 in the box. It's like an old-fashioned 4-3 defense, right? So trying to throw it in there is a little questionable too. So bad decision, got him. And I will point out too, he does have, even though he's a bigger guy, because of that off-the-shoulder release, it's kind of a lower release when he throws the football. So what this defensive tackle does is what you have to do if you're playing him, is if you're not there and you don't get there to hit him, you must get your hands in the air. You're going to have a chance to bat some down. If you don't get home and you're not about to hit him, you must get your hands up. Because even though he's a taller guy, that off-the-shoulder release, you're going to get to bat some down. But in this case, he just doesn't see the linebacker at all. Just throws it right to him. That can happen sometimes when you have a bunch of people in the box. All right, this is just a classic hole shot versus cover 2, if you ever hear that, versus a soft cover 2 in this case. 4 wides, 2x2, and then just hole shot, behind the corner in front of the safety on a 1st and 10 play late in the half. Even pre-snap, pretty classic look. two safeties up high there. Corners that are pretty soft. They're just trying not to give up a touchdown here before half. That's why it's so soft, cover 2. And then a 4-down deal versus 2-by-2. And again, situationally, the reason the defense is giving you this is just trying to keep from giving up a touchdown before the half. But outside guy is stopping, going to try to stay in front of the corner, maybe catch the football if the quarterback goes there, but to kind of hold the corner. And then he's pushing up past zone defender and then getting in that void, in the hole, behind the corner and in front of the safety. And he puts it in there. Less than a minute till half, puts it in there. You give yourself a chance, too, to get down there. You got 2 timeouts, maybe go do something for half. You look at the top side. A lot of times, strong arm quarterbacks, you see all this soft coverage and all that room, and you think, I'm going to make this throw. They get a stop on the outside and then get an in break right here. He's wide open, too. So, really, any side he chooses, they're going to give him some throw. He's coming wide open in the middle, but chose the short side where it's a shorter throw, and it's a smart deal because he's on the right hash. Pump it up there, and you're at midfield just like that. All right, all quarterbacks love this, whether it's short yardage or whatever it is, and they're going to bunch the line of scrimmage, and you get a chance to pull guys off sides, like on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and it happens, and you get a free play. Okay, so that's what's happening right here, and it's a good job by him. So from a quarterback standpoint, they're jumping it. He realizes he's got a free play, takes it, and then makes it. It's one thing to take it. It's another thing to make it. That's an excellent throw. You go back to it. This is, sometimes you do see it. His field of vision, right? Like he's pretty sure they've jumped and we're going to get it. Puts his eyes on this side of the field. They're throwing flags. Okay, he's off, and so they're throwing flags, but he's not waiting to see the flag. This is a guy just thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure we're offsides. My instincts tell me that. I got a free play, and he's going one-on-one to the far side of the field. Again, you got, 2 guys here, short side, so it's a little more crowded. And this is just one-on-one football to the wide side of the field, like, throwing go routes and warm-ups. And flips, puts it on. Put it on that back pylon, and that's an excellent throw. Great catch, too. Watch it. You can watch it happen here. Clap. He jumps. Now I know we got him. Free play. And then take it and make it. Love athletic ability to move the pocket or extend the play a little bit so you can get yourself a completion. It doesn't break down. It just sees an opening. He leaves and then makes the throw. If he stays in there, he's probably okay. But motioning to a 3-receiver side, get a bunch. Underneath is out. 2 guys are going to push up. One stays out. One goes out. You curl to the outside, kind of find that void. And outside rush, he didn't like how it felt. Wasn't sure what was going on behind him. And again, it might be a pretty good instinctual play too, because nobody threatens over here. You had a back stay in and protection. So this linebacker felt like, okay, I'm free, I can go. So late rusher, so maybe it is the right decision to go ahead and get on out of there. At any rate, I do know it works because he extends and makes a throw on the run. Okay, here's another example of ability to scramble, extend a play, get out of the pocket and then make a throw in the end zone. They go empty, down in this game in the second quarter. Get a twist, splits the protection or the rush, and then throws a touchdown in the back of the end zone. So a couple of things here. As far as routes, it doesn't really have a ton of time to develop. You're going underneath here, and this is vertical and to the back of the end zone. And routes, against this man-to-man look, they're showing man-to-man. It's not man-to-man. I think you can see that he can probably see that by the lack of people on the line of scrimmage. But right here, it's just, the feeling. This is a feeling. It's not standing in there and reading it. You get outside rush, but once you step up on the, from the outside rush, I think it's just seeing green grass and thinking, 2nd and 10, third quarter here, maybe I can make a play. You step up and then somebody comes open. So it's kind of a flow. I've been there as a quarterback where, sure, you can step up right here and stay and throw from that spot, but something just kind of tells you, hey, get out here or out in the open. Really put them in a bind where they've got to either come get you or drop, and it kind of clears the picture up. Like, here's a defender underneath. Once you move, he moves, it clears the picture up a little bit, and you find a guy running. And a nice, accurate throw on the run to his right-handed quarterback. That's what I see. Just an example, he can do it. He can do it on the move, too. And the other thing I like here, just to note it, look at 74, their right tackle. They go twist, so they're trying to go inside to set him up for that twist coming around to the outside. And look, he gets 2 of them. Does a pretty good job right here. Watch him. Boom, and I'm on him. That is a nice job by the tackle. Extend, get him on the ground, swing your hips, back outside and move, and blocking 2 guys. Really good job. This is one where he has to be a blocker. Right, hands it off. He's just carrying out his fake backside. But then everything gets reversed. Poor tackling. And now if you look top of the screen, he's your lead blocker up here at the goal line. Springs the last block that's going to get you in the end zone. And it's like it's being a football player, having some fun, and just kind of having that gene of whatever role I'm in, I can do it. In this case, I'm a lead blocker. And I think if he doesn't pull this off, a defender's got a great chance to get this play out of bounds right here and make him run more offense. But his block is actually what gets it in the end zone. Nice job. There's a little introduction into who the Golden Eagles quarterback is projected to be when the Bulldogs come into Hattiesburg on the 30th. Really good player, and so defense will have their work cut out for him. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.